Now let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Leatrice Joy.
My name is Leatrice Joy.
My name is Leatrice Joy.
Panel, you've had a look. Will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit, please? I, Leatrice Joy, was a star in the golden age of motion pictures, the great era of the silent screen. I created a unique type of film heroine, the sophisticated, ultra-efficient society girl, and my boyish bob hairdo started a fad among the feminine moviegoers. I was Cecil B. DeMille's favorite leading lady and appeared in a whole series of films for him, including his spectacular The Ten Commandments. I worked with Mary Pickford, Lon Chaney, Richard Dix, Clara Kimball Young, Rod LaRoque, and many, many others. The great Rudolph Valentino taught me his special method of preparing spaghetti and meatballs, which I still cook whenever the occasion arises. At the peak of my career, I became the wife of one of the most idolized romantic stars the screen has ever known, the fabulous John Gilbert. Signed, Leatrice Joy. Panel, these three ladies all claim to be Leatrice Joy, great star of the silent screen. We'll start this cross-examination with Barry Nelson. Barry?
Thank you, Bud. Number two, who was Luke Cody?
He was a heavy, so-called.
Number one, who was Lowell Sherman?
He was also a heavy.
Number three, who was Antonio Moreno?
He was a leading man.
Number two, who was Eddie Mayo?
Beg pardon?
Eddie Mayo?
He may have been a director.
Who was Garbo's? Who brought Garbo over?
Mr. Stiller.
Number three, how did they find you in pictures? How did they discover you?
Well, I made a picture in New Orleans for a NOLA company. And then I came up to New York, and I worked at Fort Lee. And at that time, I was doing extra work. And then I went out to California.
Thank you.
Kitty?
Number one, can you tell me the name of Mr. DeMille's daughter?
No.
Number two, do you know the name of Mr. DeMille's daughter?
Cecilia?
Number three, can you tell me the name of Mr. DeMille's wife?
No, I'm sorry.
Number one, where did you make these pictures for DeMille?
In Hollywood.
What studio?
Paramount.
Number two, where is Paramount?
On Vine Avenue in Hollywood.
Thank you. Number three, where did Mr. DeMille live?
He lived in, right in back of Paramount, practically.
Thank you. Number one, when you worked with Mary Pickford, was that her name?
Yes.
Do you know her real name?
Smith.
Thank you.
Tom Poston.
Oh, it's me.
Wow.
Number one, I happen to know Mr. DeMille's middle name. Do you know it?
Blanche.
Thank you. Number two, there was a famous actress in California who was a friend of mine. Her last name was Dumont. Do you happen to know her first name?
No.
Do you know number three?
Helen or Gladys?
Thank you. Number three, what are electricians called? Electricians called in California. It's different from...
Bricks.
Thank you. Number two, what are Klieg eyes? What does that refer to?
It's an irritation of the nerves in the eyes due to the Klieg lights that they used in those days.
Do you know what Klieg means?
It's the name of the type of light that they used.
Peggy Cass.
Number one, what does it mean when somebody in the crew yells, "Kill the baby"?
Kill that spotlight.
Thank you. Number three, who was Rod LaRoque married to?
Oh, Vilma Bunke.
Thank you. Number two, did you ever work in Astoria, Long
Yes.
Island? What was the name of the studio there, please?
It was the Paramount.
Thank you. Number three, who was Natasha Rumbova?
She was married to Rudolph Valentino.
Thank you. Number one, who was Mickey Neeland?
He was a very attractive movie actor of my time.
Thank you. And number three, what's Gower
That's all
Gulch?
the time we have, I'm sorry to say. We must mark ballots at once, if you please, without any consultation whatever, of course, as you vote now for number one, or for number two, or for number three. All ballots marked, panel? Well, mark, if you please.
You're all so handsome.
Beautiful. Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
Well, I had a vote for number 1. His middle name happened to be Blunt. B-L-O-U-N-T, pronounced Blunt, and it's just a thing I knew. He went to the American Academy where I went. But I'm sure that if I had asked her, she would have known Margaret Dumont's name, a famous, beautiful star, and the other two didn't seem to know. So I voted for number 1.
Peggy.
I voted for number 3 because I thought Mickey Nealon was a movie director. And she knew who everybody was married to. You know, Rod LaRock was married to Vilma Banky, and this one was Natasha Rambova was married. You know, I like those kind of photo play things, so I voted.
All right, Barry, what is your choice?
Well, it's remarkable how lovely the ladies are. I think Mickey, that Nealon was a director, and number 2 knew about Luke Cody being heavy and all.
Kitty?
I voted for number 2. They're all absolutely ravishing. And I hope I don't give offense to the ones I didn't vote for, but when number 2 stood up on the platform, she held herself like a great star, and she knew that Cecilia was Mr. DeMille's daughter, and number 1 didn't know, and number 3 said that Mr. DeMille lived behind Paramount, and he didn't. He lived up by Griffiths Park.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, don't argue now. The votes are all in. Pride of personal knowledge. All right. Anyway, it's split again, as we can see. There's 1 for 1, 2 for 2, and 1 for 3. Let's go for it now and find out who's right and who's wrong as we learn now which one of these ladies actually is the real great star of the silent screen. So will the real Leatrice Joy please stand up? Thank you very much. May I say the real joy is not so much your name as the joy we have in having you here with us tonight, Leatrice.
A lot of fun.
Thanks for appearing
And I
with us.
adore the show. I just adore it.
Number 1, what is your real name and what do you really do?
My name is Helen McWilliamson, and I'm Lily Dashay's Girl Friday.
Well, you did a beautiful job tonight. And number 3, argumentative that you were, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Joan Copeland, and I'm a housewife from British Columbia, Canada.
And a very lovely one. Oh, you were just fine, all of you, just great. And you managed to pull into the extent of 2 incorrect votes, and that's real good with this panel, believe me. And at $250 each, that's $500 from Anderson, as well as the gift package of all of the fine products from Anderson. Thank you so much for being with us. Good night, and God bless you. Panel, you open up your next affidavit, and let's meet, first of all, let's meet our next team of challengers.